Hey everyone, welcome back. This is a really good replay of a boat that you kind of love to hate through wargaming, but I'll get to that in a minute. This is the USS Flint. She's a Tier 7 Atlanta in the game. In reality, she's also was one of the latecomers to the Atlantic Light class cruiser, which is primarily designed for anti-aircraft. She didn't enter the war until the end of December 1944, and then sailed with Task Force 38 to help with the invasion of Luzon and doing screens mostly for AA off of Taiwan and the China coast. In this replay you're going to see here, I got to be honest with you, I disagree with this person's play. You know the expression that Jingles will say, if it's stupid and it works, well then it's not stupid. That's the one thing I love about this game, and I watched this replay and I've watched it 2 or 3 times now. I don't agree with the vast majority of how this person's playing this boat, but it works for him or her, and it works quite well. There's some things I'll comment a bit later on that I may have done differently. I may or may not comment on, but overall, it's a good play to watch, and it's a really good way of actually watching this boat and how to play this boat. Like an Atlanta with a good captain, it's nicknamed the Hot Atlanta, which means you'll have a gun range of 13.3 kilometers. In reality, the Atlanta class ships could actually fire a 15 to 16 kilometer range with their 5-inch or 127 millimeter guns. Wargaming nerfed this boat down to 11.1, which essentially made that pretty much every Tier 6 destroyer and above could actually outgun the Flint. It did make her absolutely useless. Now, the original way you got this boat was through steel. That's how I got the boat. And then they said, no more steel, we're going to bring it out and put it out for coal. And then one of my clanmates got it, actually quite a few clanmates got it, Mr. Lomax and Navy Chick. And then they nerfed it from 13.3 down to 11.1, and it was no longer fun to play. It was just a boat you could actually play in Nare for operations, aka scenarios. After that, you just couldn't play it in randos. It was impossible. You couldn't gun anything without being seen. I mean, you talk about overall with the boat, her detection ratio with a good captain skill gets down 9.6. So without that at 11.1, you really couldn't shoot anything. They did re-nerf it and put it back to 11.9. It's not bad. I think it should be about 12.5, 12.6 maybe. And as you watch it right now, here's a special thing. She's got smoke. Now, I've got my smoke upgraded on this boat, and my smoke lasts about 2.5 minutes, I think it is, and I can lay out a smoke screen of over 49 seconds. At full speed, you can completely protect your fleet and your teammates in randos or rank, etc., etc. That's a large smoke screen. It's fantastic. Along with going to 11.9, her firing was actually nerfed to 5.1. It was about 5.5. In a hot land, he used to get it down to about 4.1, etc., etc. But, you know, if you have the captain skills that allows you to reduce, you get a better shot every time. The other thing I'd say about this boat, she does have good torpedoes. She has 2 tubes, times 4. They're 55 knots, a teeny bit slow, like the USS Black at Tier 9, but they're 9.2 kilometers, not the Atlanta's 4.5. So everyone describes this boat nowadays as a cruiser that thinks it's a destroyer, with really bad concealment. Most destroyers at this range are 6, 7 kilometers. She's 9.6. But if you can get close enough and you can actually, like an Atlanta, shoot over islands or protect your team like this guy is doing right now, you can do a lot of damage, and I mean a lot. However, back to the Flint herself. After they finished working on Luzon, she went back to Ulithi for replenishment in the 26th. Flint then sailed with Task Force 38 on the airstrikes on Tokyo, preceding the attack on Iwo Jima. Her forces arrived off Iwo Jima on the 21st of February 1945 to provide anti-aircraft cover for the Marines who had landed 2 days previously, and Flint returned to Ulithi on the 12th of March for a brief 2 days of replenishment. She now switched it up and put to sea with Task Force 58 for strikes against Kyushu in preparation for the invasion of Okinawa. Flint added it in bringing down several large aircraft. Again, like I said, she's an AA boat in design with the Atlantic class. Did quite well with that. I think overall, when you look at her career so far, from going from Okinawa into late May, it was pretty much upkeep, pretty much what she does. Again, at this point, Americans knew they were going to win the war, so it was a foregone conclusion. Then she anchored off of Leyte Gulf on June 3rd after working on Okinawa. After Okinawa, the Flint sorted from Leyte on the 1st of July for her final airstrikes on the working with the Japanese home island to join the bombardment of the east coast of Honshu until the end of hostilities for the end of World War II. Her main focus at that point was to bring troops home. She made several trips to bring troops home to San Francisco. And then eventually, at the end of that, when she was done, the Flint reported to Puget Sound Naval Shipyard at Bremerton, Washington on 11 January 1946, where she was placed out of commission in reserves at Bremerton on May of 1947. Just a quick note, her dedication plaque is currently rests at the Sloan Museum in the city she is named for, Flint. She was scrapped in 1966. It's kind of sad because I think these boats the Atlantic class are cool in themselves, but she's gone now and she did a good job. One thing about this boat, when you're firing in smoke, which she's just loading up, you have a smoke penalty of 4.6 kilometers. That's decent to any of the British cruisers you see that are typically 4.5, 4.6, or in the 5 range with the USS London. So the penalty is quite nice, and it's not a bad penalty. But again, this part that I see what he's doing right now, he's got himself quite a few boats that are inbound here. Now, that Iron, which is coming up at Pan Asian, it has hydro. So I don't know if he forgot this or not, but maybe he did. The Flint itself has hydro, which is great for against destroyers. You can, hear destroyers coming at you, torpedoes, etc., etc. It's like any typical boat, like a Smolensk. When you're doing that, you can actually use it to see the torps are coming at you. And here again, actually comes. He's now in hydro, so now he's detected. Again, I disagree with the gameplay, but it's a really good. I think it's a good strategy, and it works for him. But he's now shot that entire side. And here's where for him it gets a little bit hectic. You can either say he's bitten off more than he can chew, or he's holding off this entire side of the cap, which makes it kind of entertaining. Either way, this boat's really good. If you have the ability to buy this boat with coal, I'd recommend it. I mean, it's a fun boat. It's a great boat in operation. The only operation you play is Nari right now. And I would say even 11.9, I would still like to see it around the 12.5, 12.6 for shooting. I think it's now a good boat to play in randos and whatnot. If you get upgraded to Tier 9, pretty much I think every destroyer in Tier 8 can outgun you. But here's where the Flint kind of shines. Bad shot on his part, sorry. But anyway, he can actually now push forward and make this a 1v1. And this is something that Flint's good at. And like I said, it's a big destroyer. And it's a good destroyer. Anyway, you guys sit down, watch the rest of the replay. Like I said, if it's stupid but it works, then it's not stupid. So my whole philosophy of this is that I think he did a good job. His first kill didn't happen until he had almost 84,000 K in damage. So just a really good play overall. I may not understand it or get it, but I'm going to say good play. So, hey, everyone, hope I didn't miss anything, but take care, stay safe, and have fun out there. Bye.